him.
I want to watch the news.
Are you making headway at least?
This is the news.
Smack-a-magab, it's time for the only news that matters. And one of America's most infamous killers, the Milwaukee Cannibal or Milwaukee Monster, terrorized Wisconsin's biggest city in late 70s and early 90s. He was eventually convicted of the murder and dismember of 17 men and boys. Many of those killed were eaten by Dahmer, and some of the body parts were preserved in the freezer. Now here's the deal. Jeffrey Dahmer was a big fan of Black Sabbath. So much so, the Ultimate Guitar reports that he would listen to them while raping, murdering, dismembering, and eating his victims. Some of his favorite songs were Paranoid, The Wizard, and Iron Man. Yeah, that's some wild stuff, man. Yeah, nothing cool with what Jeffrey Dahmer did, and I'm not making light of the situation. But if I was to get killed by a serial killer, I'd want to hear the last thing on earth I want to hear. And, well, other than my screaming, is Black Sabbath blasting. Turn it up, you know? Better than a Sammy Hagar serial killer. I mean, Jesus, if you get killed while listening to Three Cock Boxer, Vangina stuff, oh my God, I don't want to leave the world like that. You know, other serial killers like Peter Sutcliffe, the Yorkshire Ripper, was into Mozart and the Eurythmics. Yeah, if he ever killed me, play Mozart. Not the Eurythmics, thank you. John Wayne Gacy said he liked REO Speedwagon and Neil Diamond and Bob Dylan. Then there was Lawrence Bittaker, one of the Toolbox Killers, said he loved Iron Butterfly's 18-minute long classic In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida. And he also liked the Bee Gees and Mariah Carey. Now, Richard Ramirez, you know, the Night Stalker, he was into Judas Priest and AC/DC. Charles Manson was into the Beatles and the Beach Boys, and Dennis Nilsson, the Muswell Hill Murders. He would pump himself up by listening to The Who's Tommy. And yes, keyboardist Rick Wakeman and the Royal Philharmonic. And the Funkadelic Frankenstein by Edgar Winter Group. Yep, and then there was the Damsel of Death, Eileen Wuornos. I can't pronounce her last name. She was into Natalie Merchant. And the Son of Sam, David Berkowitz, said Rich Girl by Hall & Oates was motivating him to commit his many murders. The Green River Killer, Arthur Shawcrest, was into Gigi Allen. Well, that's the most appropriate one out of all these, right? But man, Jeffrey Dahmer has to be one of the sickest ones of all. I saw the Netflix movie. I've seen some documentaries on the guy. He was pretty insane, like eating his victim and stuff. But, you know, as far as I can tell, when he got caught, he didn't shy away from the camera. He seemed like very honest with what he was saying. He wasn't like Charles Manson, like playing up to the camera, and Richard Ramirez with the, you know, Hail Satan stuff. Dahmer seemed to be kind of normal in jail, saying, look, I'm a sick fuck, and this is what I did. Seemed pretty upfront about the whole thing. And, you know that Jeffrey Dahmer one time went to Five Guys and said, hey, this doesn't taste like Five Guys. No, seriously. What did Jeffrey Dahmer call the guy that ran from him? Fast food. Yeah. Did you know Jeffrey Dahmer doesn't like Tic Tacs or gum? He prefers Mentos. That's right. Mentos. What did they find when they looked into Jeffrey Dahmer's freezer? Ben and Jerry. Yep, that's what happened. Yep. What did Jeffrey Dahmer sing as he went to the refrigerator? My baloney has a first name. Yep. Yeah, he sang that song. He really did. What did Jeffrey Dahmer say to Lorraine Bobbitt? Hey, are you going to eat that? Yep. What did the police find in Jeffrey Dahmer's shower? Head and shoulders. Oh boy, all that information I just gave you about Jeffrey Dahmer. And on top of all that, the guy loved Black Sabbath. Now, not all Black Sabbath are insane people like Jeffrey Dahmer and myself, but it helps. The only difference with Jeffrey and myself is that I don't murder people and eat them. Well, you know, if I did, would I admit it on my YouTube channel? Seriously? Would I admit I didn't play the Wizard or War Pigs or Iron Man or Paranoid like Jeffrey Dahmer did? That I did Megalomania and Under the Sun? I wouldn't admit stuff like that. Jeffrey Dahmer, I'm glad he's dead. Yeah, I mean, the only cool thing about him was he liked Black Sabbath and Exorcist Part 3. And I love Black Sabbath as well. My favorite band from the 70s. It's up there, man. They're just incredible. Love all the albums they released in the 70s, even Technical Ecstasy and Never Say Die, which is the one I listen to the most. I love Black Sabbath. And, but I didn't like what Jeffrey Dahmer did. He deserved death, and I think that was a good thing that he died and was killed by an inmate. That was groovy that day when I heard that story. I was like, right on. But anyway, that's it for the only news that matters. Jeffrey Dahmer liked Sabbath. Who knew? Anyway, thank you so much for watching, everybody. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And ring that little notification bell. Like the video and let me know what you all think of Jeffrey Dahmer liking Sabbath and stuff like that. I love to read from my great people out there. I hope you're subscribed to my channel. If not, do it, please. It's good for the YouTube algorithms. So stay frosty. Listen to Black Sabbath like Jeffrey Dahmer did. And smack 'em a gob.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain. For we've received orders for to sail back to Boston. And so never more shall we see you again.